Hi, welcome. It's time for a children's book reading or a reading for children by a candidate. I am that candidate. My name is Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki. I was a presidential candidate in the 2020 presidential election and also in the 2024 presidential election, and also I was a candidate in 2022 for Congress from West Virginia. Currently, I have not conceded the last election, which was in 24, for president because I have a lawsuit pending with the Supreme Court. And I'm hoping to hear favorably on my lawsuit, and then we will have some good changes in our country. But until then, I am still in limbo, and I'm doing my best to inform you, the people, about your rights, about what the Constitution says, and give you some insight. That's why I'm reading the Constitution right now. So yeah, the book I'm reading is the U.S. Constitution, and we've gone through, I don't know how many parts. I think I'm on part 33. And here I'm going to cover amendment number 11 and 12. And they're both interesting and complicated. And, we're moving now into more modern English in these two. They happen at the turn of the century in the so they get ratified in 1803 and 1804. So it's still at the sort of beginning of our country, but with more details, I guess, or more modern English. So my name is Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki, in case I didn't say that before. Welcome. Okay, so amendment number 11, which was ratified in 1804. The judicial power of the United States shall not be construed to extend to any suit in law or equity, commenced or prosecuted against one of the United States by citizens of another state, or by citizens or subjects of any foreign state. So, what this means is that citizens of another state cannot sue another state. So this is also why, there are certain laws out there, certain states are putting laws out there that are unconstitutional. And I would fight them for the people in those states, but I'm not living in that state, so I can't do it. So people in the state have to sue. But then there's a general, I think a blanket state sort of lawsuit that is possible, which is the one I'm trying. And then foreign countries cannot sue individual states. They have to sue the federal government. So that makes sense. Or at least that is my understanding. So maybe you understand something different. But apparently in today's world, more and more citizens from one state can sue states for different things. So I suppose it also happens that, if you're in that state and the state does something to you, you can certainly sue about that. Then, and I want to mention that it really is possible to sue states. So don't think it's not possible. It is possible. even if you don't know what you're doing. There's lots of information now online which helps to know how to make a lawsuit, and you don't have to be a lawyer to do it. Then amendment number 12. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president, one of whom at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. They shall name in their ballots the person voted for as president, and in their distinct ballots the person voted for as vice president. And they shall make distinct lists of all persons voted for as president and all persons voted for as vice president, and the number of votes for each, which lists they shall sign and certify, and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all certificates, and the votes shall be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes for president shall be the president, if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed. And if no person have such a majority, then from the persons having the highest number, not exceeding 3 on the list of those voted for as president, the House of Representatives shall choose immediately, by ballot, the president. But in choosing the president, the votes shall be taken by states. The representation from each state shall have 1 vote. A quorum for this purpose shall consist of a member or members from 2/3 of all the states, and a majority of all the states shall be necessary to a choice. And if the House of Representatives shall not choose a president, whenever the right of choice shall devolve upon them before the 4th day of March next following, then the vice president shall act as president, as in the case of the death or constitutional disability of the president. The person having the greatest number of votes as vice president shall be the vice president, if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed. And if no person have a majority, then from the 2 highest numbers on the list, the Senate shall choose the vice president. A quorum for the purpose shall consist of 2/3 of the whole number of senators. and a majority of the whole number shall be necessary to a choice. But no person constitutionally ineligible to be in the office of president shall be eligible to that of vice president of the United States. Then there is a section that is covered in the 20th Amendment. And if the House of Representatives shall not choose a president, whenever the right of choice shall devolve upon them, before the 4th of March next following, then the vice president shall act as president, as in the case of the death of other constitutional disabilities of the president. So the 20th will then cover that. Oh wait, I went too far. This book has a couple of things in it, so. That's a 20. Okay. Here we go. Oh, and it's a long one. Oh, it's going to be a long one. The Amendment number 20. The term of the President and Vice President shall end at noon on the 20th day of January, and the term of Senator and Representatives at noon on the 3rd day of January. Of the years in which such terms would have ended, if the article had not been ratified, and the term of the successor shall then begin. The Congress shall assemble at least once in every year, and such meetings shall begin at noon on the 3rd day of January, unless they shall by law appoint a different day. Section 3 of Article 20. If at the time fixed for the beginning of the term of the President-elect shall have died, the Vice President-elect shall become President. If a President shall not have been chosen before the time fixed for the beginning of his term, or if the President-elect shall have failed to qualify, then the Vice President-elect shall act as President until a President shall have been qualified. And the Congress may by law provide for the case wherein neither a President-elect nor a Vice President-elect nor a Vice President shall have qualified, declaring who shall then act as President, or the manner in which one who is to act shall be selected, and such person shall act accordingly until a President or Vice President shall be qualified. So an acting President. Then the Congress may by law provide for the case of the death of any of the persons from whom the House of Representatives may choose a president whenever the right of choice shall have devolved upon them. And for the case of the death of any of the persons from whom the Senate may choose a vice president whenever the right of choice shall have devolved upon them. Section 5. Section 1 and 2 shall take effect on the 15th of October, following the ratification of these articles. Section 6. This article shall be inoperative unless it shall have been ratified as an amendment to the Constitution by the legislature of 3/4 of several states within 7 years from the date of its submission. So it was submitted, everything happened, and so there are various things that can come up where it can be unclear who is president, where the House of Representatives and the Senate will have to vote. So that's basically what it says. So sometimes it can be unclear who's president. And then temporarily there might be changes or reasons why certain people might be in office when they're not the real true president or vice president. So there we have it. All right, so that is that was also Amendment 20 because there were changes, and so I wanted to include it so that we would be up to date with the information. So technically that was 3 different amendments, Amendments 11, 12, and 20. Okay, so anyway, I want to thank you for stopping by, and this is a longer one, so it's nice to have a longer one once. Soon we'll be getting back to children's books again, and then we can enjoy those together. I am Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki. If you want to find out more about me and my campaign, it is susan4usa.com. That's Susan, the number 4, usa.com. Okay, so I wish you all a wonderful day wherever you are, and see you next week. Bye for now.